Hello, today we are going to be making Tinga De Pollo, which is an authentic Mexican dish made with shredded chicken and lots of flavor. We will be making it the authentic way, the way that you would get it straight from Mexico. But I'm going to add a little twist. I'm going to be making it in a crock pot. The reason why I'm going to be making it in a crock pot is because it's more efficient and less time consuming. You can make it before you go to work, come home and have dinner. Or you can make it right before you go to bed, wake up in the morning and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner for yourself or your entire family. You can make it spicy or you can make it mild. In this recipe, I'm going to be making it mild. That's just my personal preference, but if you do want it to be spicy, it's as simple as adding a can of chipotle peppers. And it will add a little bit of a smoky flavor and a little bit of a spice. But if you don't want that, it's totally easy to leave it out. That's what I do. It's going to be one of those dishes that when you go to your favorite Mexican restaurant and you wish you could have your favorite dish at home, but you're not sure how, today I'm going to show you every step of the way, and you can have it whenever you want. Ingredients that you will need for this recipe: a crock pot, a flat pan, the largest one that you have, garlic powder, and chicken bouillon. I highly recommend this brand of chicken bouillon. It is most popular used in Mexican dishes. Roma tomatoes, avocado, fresh garlic, yellow onion, cilantro, lettuce. Most popular lettuce used for this dish is iceberg lettuce. I'm choosing to use romaine. Mexican dried chilies. Any one that you can find will do. Sour cream, chicken breast, a cutting board, a knife and kitchen shears, a kitchen thermometer, a blender. Is queso fresco. It's my personal favorite and it is a very popular cheese used in Mexican cooking. You can find it at your local Mexican market. I highly recommend to get it fresh from the deli. It should have a soft, bouncy texture. Going to need Tostadas. Any brand will do. So you're going to want to take your onion and you're going to want to cut it in half. You're going to want to put the flat side on your cutting board, and you're going to want to cut it very thin slices. And then you're going to want to turn it on its side like this and keep doing the same concept. Thin slices. Then you can go back. So once again, you're going to take half of the onion. Your Roma tomatoes, now you're going to be left with the outer layer of the Roma tomatoes. You're going to want to do very thin slices. After cutting your vegetables, you're going to take your dried Mexican chilies and your kitchen shears. In a clean sink, you're going to be cutting them open and rinsing out the seeds. We're going to rinse them with cold water to rinse out the seeds. Do not rinse them with hot water. The chili is too intense and it will be hard to breathe. This is what your chilies should look like. Open and clean. You're going to want to lay out your chilies. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just want them to be flat. These chilies are not spicy if you rinse out the seeds. It's actually a very mild dish. First thing I like to do is take my thawed out chicken. I rinse it off. After washing the chicken breast, I trim the fat off the chicken breast and any tendons that I do not like. To each their own, some people don't mind it, I do. Now you're going to take your blender and you're going to add aroma tomato. You're going to cut it in half. My blender is small, so I'm going to separate it into containers. You're going to take a piece of an onion. You're going to grab your chicken bouillon and you're going to grab about 2 teaspoons, 2 small spoons. You're going to grab your garlic powder and you're going to take about 1 teaspoon. You're going to grab your garlic cloves. I'm also going to grab the tomato remainings from the ones I sliced up really thin, where I took out the center with the seeds. I'm going to add them in. I don't want to waste it. Now we're going to add water. You don't want to add too much water because you have to remember you're going to put your chilies in here. So I'm going to just blend this up and get it ready for when I put the chilies in it. I don't want to blend it too much, just slightly. You don't want it to be over blended. You want to be in a well ventilated area. Open a window, have a fan going, because the chilies, they kind of go into the air and they can make you cough. It's not too bad, but I just wanted to let you know. You might want to switch the chilies and flip them over. They don't take very long to cook. You just want them to get very soft. So when you blend them, they're not in crunchy pieces. Now, while your chilies are cooking, you want to get your crock pot and you want to plug it in. You can put it on high or low depending on how much time you have to cook it. I'm putting mine on high. You're going to want to grab your chicken and you're going to want to put it in. Now you're going to add your chilies to your blender. You can discard the water in the pan. We will not be using it today. This is what you should end up with. We're going to add a little bit more water. I just didn't want to overdo the water. If you're using a regular traditional blender, you're going to need to have one of these kind of strainers. It's a very fine strainer. If you're using something like the NutriBullet or a Vitamix, you might not need to use this strainer. I'm using the NutriBullet and it blends everything super fine, so I choose not to use it. But if I was using a traditional blender, I would definitely use one of these. Basically what you would do is you would get a bowl, you would put the strainer over the top of the bowl, and you would pour your mixture in the strainer, and then you would sift it through. You would move it through. And then the remainings you would pour in. Now you're going to be taking your mixture and you're going to be pouring it in with the chicken. Now you're going to be adding your tomatoes. You're going to add your shredded, thinly sliced onion. This is what you should end up with. You're going to place your lid on top. You just want to shake it a little bit to get all the sauce underneath of the chicken. And later on, we are going to use a temperature gauge to temp the chicken to make sure it hits 165 or higher. You're going to leave it for about 3 to 5 hours, depending on how much chicken you have, depending on how big your crock pot is, and if you have it on low or high. I'll check back with you when I check on it later. We are going to be temping the tinga and make sure that the chicken is at a safe temperature. This is what it should start looking like. You're going to want to take your fork and you're going to want to look for a piece of chicken. You're going to want to insert your thermometer in the chicken and keep it in the liquid. It's at 187. Now you're going to take 2 forks and you're going to shred the chicken. Once you start shredding the chicken, you can shred the chicken directly in the crock pot, or you can remove the chicken breast and put it on a plate and shred it and then add it back into the liquid. Now that the tinga is ready, you want to have all of your ingredients. You want to have your tostadas, you want to have your queso fresco, you want to have your lettuce, your avocado. So now let's try it. Mmm. Yum. Delicious. Thank you for making Tinga De Pollo with me. I hope you like it as much as I do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope this helped you in some sort of way. Until next time, bye.